Guys, for me, having night sights on my self-defense handgun is a must. I want to be able to see my sights, especially in the dark, and that's typically when you have self-defense situations happen. But one of the things about going to the range with night sights during the day is they can be sometimes hard to pick up. And so we're going to be looking at the Night Fision Perfect Dot sight. Not only does it have a tritium insert to be able to pick those up, but it also has a ring around the outside that really allows you to see these sights at the range, and they are very bright. There are a lot of companies that add fiber optics to the front and rear sights, and they can be large on the firearm. Yes, they're easy to see when you pick them up, but I definitely like something a little more compact on my pistol. And to me, I think that this is an excellent choice. These sights really stand out at the range. Now, when incorporating tritium and fiber optic, the sights can be larger. There's a number of companies that do it, and the sights typically are big. I love the size of these sights compared to those. In fact, that front sight's about half the size of a lot of your tritium fiber optic sights. And you know, it really makes it important to be able to use them for both day and night. And I think that's one of the things that Night Fision has done. The sights on the back have that notch, and this is for one-handed reloads, this little cocking shelf. Guys, when you're in a self-defense situation, they say that 80% of shots end up hitting extremities in a gunfight. And if you lose one of your arms, you know, from a wound, being able to reload by one hand could be critical. Now, Night Fision produces these sights in the US. The tritium they're using is Swiss produced, which is some of the highest quality tritium on the market. One thing that Night Fision says is that these have an added amount of tritium to make them even more effective. The sights are CNC machined steel, very precision made, and they are nitride finished. But one thing that I really love about these sights is you have your tritium in the center, but then you have this ring around it that is very visible. And you can see, and then even with the front sight, we have it out of focus, but it's highly visible. And it gives you a nice contrast with the yellow versus the white. Now, they do offer this in the orange, and they also offer it in white. The back sights are offered in white and in black. And so that way it can give you a contrast if you decide to go with a white dot at the front. As you can see, the sights really show up well. That front dot is just easy to find. The contrast is nice. Of course, you can choose different colors, whether the yellow that I have here, the orange, but that front sight shows up well. Bring in the rear sight. Guys, that's a great sight picture. And of course, going with the black outline, it's a totally different look. And Rubber Dummy knows this thing is accurate.
So I get lucky sometimes.
Nice groove.
And I want to thank Freedom Munitions for supplying the 9mm ammo. You get a 5% discount using Suit00 at the Freedom Munitions website. We're going to install the Night Fision sights on a Glock Gen 5. This has the standard sights. Now we're going to be using one of the MGW sight pushers. This is a great tool. Got this at Brownells. Also one of the Aerotech. This is for the front sight with the 3/16 nut driver. Now you can see the tritium vials in the center and then the white outline on the rear. And then of course we have the green or yellow on the front. I just wanted contrast. You can order these sights again any way you want to, any color combination, but the outer ring gives you a better daylight visibility, and then the tritium for use at night. You want to make sure the gun is unloaded, remove the magazine, check to make sure the chamber is empty. First thing we want to do is pull the trigger, pull the slide back about 1/8 of an inch, and then pull down on the tabs, or the takedown tabs. One thing about the Gen 5 is kind of funny is these takedown, they've redesigned the takedown lever, and it's a little more difficult to get a hold of. Remove our recoil spring and barrel. We're going to put those aside. Now when it comes to replacing your rear sight on the Glock, you push from the left to the right, and then you install from the right to the left. Now I have a review on the MGW sight pusher. It's actually on my Sensible Prepper channel, but this is a great tool to have, especially if you have multiple Glocks or whatever gun that these will fit, and then you can get adaptable plates. Just going to slide it into the pusher and tighten it down. Okay, and then we just start turning. Now of course you can do this with a punch. I've done that before, but you do risk damaging the sight, especially inserting the sight. But it's not that difficult. I just really like this sight pusher. These are press fit, so they come right out, and then when they go in, you don't have to worry about anything. They just work well. Now we're here at a certain point. We're going to go ahead and release the slide and pull it out, and of course the sight dropped right out. We're going to degrease the channel right here. I have a little denatured alcohol. Just make sure that's good and clean, and then let it dry. We're going to remove the residue from the alcohol. Now we're going to take the sight and go ahead and insert it partially, and again from the right side. Now we have it into place. We're going to lock down our screw, and then we're just going to slowly push the sight over. Now we have it even, so now let's go to the front sight. The front sight's held in with a little 3/16 screw. The early Glock models had a little pinch, and you actually pulled it off with a pair of needle nose pliers. We're just going to take the little nut driver and just go ahead and unscrew it. Just a little tip, guys, always keep all these parts, and just in case. And the sight comes right out. And again, we're going to just clean that front sight off, that area where the front sight goes, with a little denatured alcohol, and let it dry. Now I'm going to remove the screw from the night vision sight and add just a touch of Loctite. So we're going to take the front sight, set it into the hole, and then we're just going to screw in the screw. And I want to make sure it's kind of lined up somewhat before we tighten it down. But it should be lined up because of the shape of the front sight. Try not to strip that screw. Don't put too much tension on it, but get it good and snug. Alright, installation's complete. Just return our barrel, recoil spring and guide rod, and then back on the frame. And we're good to go. Now we have the white outline with the U-notch in the back. You can see how it frames up very nicely with that front sight. Then we have that front sight. Love this little cocking shelf right here as well. The manufacturer suggested retail price on these sights is $117, which is a good price in itself. But there's a number of different retailers that I noticed were selling them for around the $97 range. And that is a great price for tritium night sights. And then, of course, with the quality and the ring that goes around each one to really brighten these up for your daylight range shooting, I think that this is a great option. Made in the USA, steel, machined piece, nitride finish, cocking shelf. These are just excellent sights for self-defense. Now go over to nightvision.com to check out all the details and the specs on these sights. I want to thank Night Vision for sending these sights for this test and evaluation and for the installation. And guys, I'll tell you, if you ever get a pair of these sights, you will not be disappointed. They are just excellent, whether at night or during the day at the range. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. night vision. That's play on words right there. They can withstand really cold. They can extend extreme. They can extend, and to be able to get things on target and just talk like blah 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 blah, and then pull down our takedown lat. Now I have a full video on the. Now I have a review. Got all the details and the specs. I think.
Rubber dummy's looking pretty sexy. Oh yeah.